Hello, and welcome back to Tech Tuesday. We've been spending a lot of time talking about Google Gemini, which is Google's generative AI program. And one of the great things that you're able to do is actually use generative AI to create bigger projects. There's something specific that Google Gemini has, and it's called Canvas. Canvas is a way to kind of organize chat on one side while producing content on another side. It's really designed for bigger projects. Like, for example, we're going to take a look at how to generate an email. And what Google Canvas kind of does is you can actually change things as you go without having to constantly rewrite prompts. And it's a little bit more intuitive than just copying, pasting, continuously having a chat with a chat bot back and forth. Let's take a look at how to do that. Here I'm at Google Gemini's homepage, and I want to check and make sure that I'm using the thinking model as opposed to the fast model. It's just going to give me more of an accurate result. It goes through more steps. And then when I go to the tools, I'm going to go ahead and go to Canvas. Now, if I write something long enough, it'll automatically go to Canvas, but I'm going to give it a prompt. I want a 3-paragraph email that I can send to parents telling them about SBAC testing. And so Canvas automatically opens up a new window, and I'm able to actually kind of do the chat on the left and take a look at the email on the right. And this will do this for any kind of bigger project that you might be using with generative AI. So here I've got an email that is kind of generic, talks a little bit about what students can do. I'm going to go ahead and click on this to actually change the tone of the email. I'm going to make this a little bit more casual, just kind of see what this yields here. And I see, hey, everyone, just wanted to give you a quick heads up about what we're doing. Okay, we know testing can be kind of stressful, but honestly, it's not that deep. I don't really love that. Maybe not an email to send to parents, so I'm going to go ahead and cancel that and make it a little bit more formal as I had kind of originally intended. It'll tell me what it's thinking on the left, and it'll yield the product on the right. Okay, now I've got my subject, and what I can actually do is I can change the length a little bit. I, again, can kind of change this to a different setting if I want it to be very formal or not. Let's just kind of keep it at the level that it's at. I can actually go through this and actually highlight various portions of the email that I want to revise. So I'm going to go ahead. I've got this part about wired headphones, which students need for SBAC testing, but I want to make sure that when I do this, I add that students cannot use Bluetooth headphones, including AirPods, so that parents know, well, my kid's got headphones, but they're not wired headphones. So it'll go ahead and change that. Please note, however, that Bluetooth-enabled devices, including AirPods, are strictly prohibited. All right, so I'm going to go ahead, take a look at the rest of my email and see how it looks here. I'm going to add something to the left side here. So tell it add something about students not being able to work on any academic work after the exam, and so a recommendation for them to read a book. Bring a book that they can actually read so they're able to make some independent reading goal progress. And it'll actually go ahead and add that paragraph. And so I'll take a look at this again. And let's say that I want to go ahead and incorporate the testing schedule into the actual email. So what I've done is I've actually downloaded the testing schedule from a prior email. I'm going to go ahead and just add both of those right here. Insert. And then once I actually do that, and again, because it's using the thinking model here, it'll take that information and add that here, talking about the fact that they're doing this over the next couple of weeks, ELA, math, science. Now, what's really important is you want to make sure that you're double checking this information. This is going to get you off to a good start, but there are some things, if you kind of take a look at some of the dates there, they don't quite match up. So you'll definitely want to proofread and make sure that all of this is accurate before sending it out to parents. Generative AI is a great thing. You can certainly do a lot with it, but it's not always going to be accurate, especially if you have a lot of different things going on. Like looking at the dates here, again, some of those are right, some of those aren't quite right. Talking about the block periods is right, but the dates aren't quite correct. So double, triple checking. The more important the email, obviously the more you're going to want to proofread it. The final step that I can actually do is I can export this to a Google Doc so that I have it. And then what I do with that, if I want to actually just send parents the Google Doc, if I want to copy and paste the information and put that into an email, whatever is going to best suit my needs. Thank you for watching this edition of Tech Tuesday. If you have any questions or something that you would like to be covered in the future, let me know.